Hi everyone, my name is Heva. I'm the curator and teaching artist with the Riverfront Art Gallery, and I'm here to introduce grid journaling. This is an art journal practice that just frees us up, takes away our fear of the empty page, and we'll be creating grid journal pages this week with lots of exciting materials. So please join me for this wonderful activity. And if you'd like to be with me live, it's every Wednesday at 4 p.m. The Zoom link and information is on the YPL Library calendar of events. Just click on Wednesday at 4 p.m., creating an art journal, and you'll see the materials that you need to use. So I hope to see you soon. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. We are going to be doing an art journal practice today. And this particular kind of practice is called journal gridding. It's a great practice because we are not focused on an end product. We're not focused on a finished art product. We are just kind of getting into free expression, using our creativity and canceling out that fear that we often get from a blank page. And rather than approaching a whole big page for creating art, we're just going to be working in these small boxes that are formed like a grid. So I've created these boxes by tracing a 2 by 2 inches by 2 inches piece of cardboard. And I'm going to be working with Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold and Blick's Matte Acrylic in Celadon, one of my favorite colors. I have a watercolor brush. I have a couple of pencils, a Stabilo All. I've got just a regular dark drawing pencil. And I have a China pencil, which is oil-based. And you can write on glass and plastic and things, but I love it because it does not disappear into water, does not melt down. I've got a black Signo Uni-ball pen and a white Signo Uni-ball pen and a series of brushes here. So, okay, let's go. I think I need one more brush, so I'm just going to grab one. Got one right here. And of course I need water. Oh, and I have some collage papers. Now I'm not going to be using all of these, but I want you to see what I'm choosing from. Still not sure. But one thing, this back of an envelope. Envelopes have really interesting patterns on the inside. If you ever get those mailback envelopes, check the inside because they have beautiful patterns. So I may be using that. Okay, I'm going to start by using my Stabilo All and just creating some marks. Oh, and by the way, I'm right-handed, but I'm using my left hand for this because we tend to get into a muscle memory with our right hand. And I want to do some really intuitive marks here. So I'm just going to go through, make some marks. Have to fill the whole box, but just kind of go with what you feel. This is about learning to trust our intuition and not feeling fear over what we're creating, but just getting into the joy of drawing, almost like when you were little And well, actually, if you hand a toddler a writing tool or a very young child, you can see how they just get into the joy of seeing what those marks look like on the page. So try to remember that, what that felt like. Okay, now that I have my marks in each box, I'm going to use my watercolor brush and just break some of that up. So what I'm looking for are some dark areas and some medium areas. So there's my medium. Maybe I'll try and get a little bit of dark here. But if you're using, you can use a brush for this. You could even use a Q-tip if you don't have a brush. And I'm using a Stabilo All. If you don't have one of those, you can try using just a regular pencil. Sometimes the lead on a regular pencil will break down. So try it. Try making some marks on a paper and see if the lead will wash down. Oh, I like that. I like that bit of dark I got in there. Now I'm working in a sketchbook or a journal. This is my art journal. You could also do this on a piece of paper. It's nice working in a journal because in addition to creating, you can write about your process, what you were feeling, how you feel about the work when you're done, what you did that you really like and might want to replicate at some time. It's also a good practice if you're an artist to do something like this just to prepare before you actually get into the work. It's just a great warm up. And some days we don't feel like creating a great big work. So this is a great way to create without the pressure of having a final product. I like these brushes because they come with a water chamber and you just have to give it a squeeze and then you get a drop of water. So I'm not worrying if I go outside of the box. I'm not trying to be precious about my boxes. Just letting what happens happen. The shapes, my lines are kind of determining what I want to do. But I think I have a nice combination of dark and light. Okay, now I want to start doing some collage. So I'm going to just begin to choose some collage papers. Here's what I have to choose from. I think I won't use that one. I forgot to mention at the beginning that I have a glue stick. I'm working with the Pritt glue stick. I really love this glue. It sticks really well. And as I'm looking at my marks here, I like this paper. Maybe I might use a combination. Let me see, but I think I'm going to start with envelope paper. And it's gonna use different bits. You can even go into magazines and find really interesting papers to work with. So what's happening now, I'm building layers. This is my background layer, but now I'm going to build layers on here. I like this piece. I don't like the white on it as much, but I can cover that up. I hope you have your coffee next to you, your tea, your water, whatever your drink of choice is. As you create, this should be a very nurturing time for you being in the creative process. Sometimes I like to have a candle burning when I'm working. It gives me a feeling of sacredness in the creative process. Look at this little piece just ready for me. I'm doing this in a journal, but you could also do this in a notebook and in an old book pages. I'm trying to just be very intuitive with how I'm laying down my papers, not thinking about it too much. I like I like the shape on that one. Drawn to that. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It kind of replicates the shapes that are already on there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely cool how that worked out. That. Okay. I think that's all the collage I'm going to do, but we'll see. Okay, now I'm going to use my nickel azo. Let's see. I'm going to use some water. This, by the way, is a golden fluid paint. It's an acrylic paint, but it's made to have a beautiful flow to it. So I'm just going to use some water. And then again, I'm not thinking too hard about where I'm going to put it. I'm not worrying about covering up or not covering up. I'm just getting it on there, trying to get a nice saturation of color. Let me get my hair dryer out, dry up everything before I go on to my next layer. Don't worry, I'll mute the sound. So look at that beautiful golden color. It's just the best. You can see I've gone out of the lines, but I'm not worrying about that. I'm okay with that. It's more about being in the creative process, making time for that. Because when you're doing this, you're not thinking about anything else. Your mind is really occupied in creating. That's a beautiful thing. It's calming for the spirit. I think I've used that all up. Okay, let me get my dryer out. Give this a little dry. And I will mute my mic. Okay, everything's dry. I can go on to my next layer. And my next layer is going to be some black and some white. So I think I'm going to use this brush for the black. This is black gesso. And yeah, I'm a bit influenced by the shapes here. I'm not really thinking hard about coming up with a composition. I'm just letting the shapes dictate to me a bit. And this is why I said we'll be building up layers, because everything we do is in the process of getting covered up. So some things are covered up, some things are still visible. I think I'm out of guessing. A bit more here. I, this is just kind of my favorite. The black with the gray and the quin gold. I just love that combination. I'm just kind of trying to get a little bit of a different texture in there, using what's left on my brush, kind of smushing it, kind of breaks up the boldness of the black while still letting the layers underneath shine through. I think just here, I still have a lot of colors in there, a lot of lightness. Okay, I'm going to give it another whack with the dryer. And I'm back. I think what I want to do next is get my white on, and then I'll go to the Celadon. I don't want a lot of white, but I do want some white value on this. Be afraid of covering things up. See, sometimes the white gets very transparent. If I go over it with a second coat, then get some opaqueness. Just want to make sure that I have a nice balance of dark, light, and medium tones. I do like how the white is transparent in some places. I want to preserve some of that, like here and here, here. But I also want to make sure that everything has a lot of good dark white, at least in one place. Okay, I used up all my white gesso. 2 minutes, I've done my white. Okay, I'm gonna hit this with the dryer again. And I'm back. I think most everything is dry. As I look at it, I feel like it's very dark. It's very dark. I need to lighten it up, and I will do some of that with my Signo, but it's still, there are a lot of dark elements, so I want to lighten some of those up. So I'm going to add some Celadon here. time painting out of the lid. If you paint over some of your layers, you know your layers are there. So they're not gone. They helped you build what you have. So there's no reason to feel like you've thrown away any of your marks or what you've created. You're building. I'm already feeling better about bringing some lightness into this. It's already lightened up considerably. Hope you have a pen handy. I wanted to just give you my email address in case you have any questions about the materials that we're using or the process. It's my name, Haifa, Haifa, at ypl.org. You can email me, ask me anything you like. Happy to share sources, where my paint, pencils, everything is coming from. It's mostly Amazon, Blick. That's pretty much where everything comes from. Materials. Okay, I feel better about the values. It feels better. Yeah, when I look on the camera, it definitely has lightened up. So feel good about that. Okay. All right, one more dryer whack, and then we're done with the dryer. We'll put it away. Okay, so now we can get on to some mark making. Favorite thing. I've got my Uni-Glow black. I'm going to start with that. Kind of want to replicate some of that crosshatch that's in there. Just going along, putting down marks. I want to make sure your pages are dry when you do this. Mark making just kind of integrates everything that you've just done. Remember, you still want to have fun while you're doing this. And, one really great practice might be for you to just take a page in your sketchbook and just practice doing marks, different marks. Use both your hands to make marks. Don't just use the hand that you usually write with. You can follow shapes, you can outline shapes, you can ignore the shapes. You can also look in magazines to get ideas for mark making. Look around at patterns. This should be a very meditative process for you. Kind of like when you were young and you used to doodle. Okay, I may come back to this, but I'm going to switch to my white Uni-ball. Dashes. Please also like our YouTube channel. If you want to leave a positive comment, great. If there's specific things you'd like to see us doing, please let me know if I'm able to do it, if I know how to do it. I'm happy to include a video on it. Definitely likes are helpful to us. I'm just going along in areas that need some lightness, trying to hit those areas. Using the black and white Uni-ball pen also helped to integrate the different areas. It also kind of brings us full circle. We started with line work as a beginning to warm up, and so we're ending with line work. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about all of that. I can also try and raise this up and bring it a little closer to the camera. You can get a little bit better look, but here it is. That's my grid journal. I'm excited for the next one. I love my color palette. And if you'd like to join me live, it's every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Every Wednesday at 4 p.m. I do an art journal practice. You can see the supplies that you'll need for that Wednesday by going to the YPL website, going to the events calendar, clicking on Wednesday at 4 p.m. You'll see creating an art journal. And on that event, there will be a list of the materials that we'll be using that week. So I look forward to seeing you, and I hope that you enjoyed this. And please do send me photos of your work. I'd love to see it. Okay, take care, everybody. Thank you.